In 2023, the person or organization number 1000 might be awarded a Nobel Prize.
Currently 989 laureates have shared 615 prizes since its start in 1901. So if there are a few shared awards next year, we could pass 1000. With 120 years and counting, the Nobel Prizes are one of the most distinguished awards in fields as diverse as physics, literature and peace. We will start with the prize for physics. 25 nations are represented here, with France, the UK, Germany and the US at the top. Let us distribute these on a world map. For chemistry, we have laureates from 32 nations, with the same 4 nations at the top. "33 nations are represented when it comes to the prize for physiology or medicine. The prize in literature has been awarded more geographically distributed, to a total of 46 nations. Here, France tops the list, ahead of the UK, the US and Germany. The Peace Prize has been awarded to laureates from 47 different nations, with the US, the UK, France and Sweden at the top. In addition, at 27 occasions, organizations have been awarded the prize. And finally, we add the most recent prize in economics, with laureates from 18 different nations, with the US well ahead of any other. As we can see on our map, the United States and the Western European nations of the UK, Germany, France, Sweden and Switzerland, alongside Japan, are overrepresented compared to the rest of the world. For example, only 4 times has Chinese laureates been awarded, despite a massive population. This number, however, points to the first problem with these numbers. Like Jared Diamond points to in his 2019 book Upheaval, people with more than one nationality or who have moved to another nation during their lifetime are overrepresented among successful people in their respective fields. Partly, this can be a result of already successful people receiving opportunities to travel to and work in other nations. But it is also a result of the same traits that can be found in people daring to try to move to another nation, also being found in people daring to try something new in their research that can lead to a breakthrough. A handful of American and British laureates have Chinese background that could be added to the number for China. For this visualization, I have followed as closely as possible the official notes from the Nobel Foundation, meaning that when multiple nations are listed, more than one marker is placed on this map. But there are of course many more people with connections to multiple nations that were not listed. This is almost impossible to do to a perfect standard without researching every single individual laureate throughout history. I should also note that laureates from nations that no longer exist, for the most part I have tried to place them in the nations they are from or active in with current borders drawn. But for example, all awards to laureates from the Soviet Union are placed in current Russia, in this visualization. And the Yugoslavian laureates are placed in the middle of the Balkans.
What this skewed geographical distribution points to is a question up for debate.
Partly it is of course a result of richer nations having the resources to allocate money to research and education. It is also a result of richer nations attracting people from low and middle income nations, as mentioned previously. Nobel Prizes are also often awarded in general for work maybe 20 or 30 years old, and sometimes more than that, representing the world as it looked several decades ago. But one cannot help to also see some Eurocentrism might be at play here. For example, the 33 awards to Swedish laureates and 26 awards to Swiss laureates, placing them 5th and 7th overall, stands out for such relatively small nations. The prizes for literature and peace have been more geographically distributed as we saw, but maybe these are also the ones that have received the most criticism for biases. Another way the laureates are unevenly distributed is by gender. Close to 900 men have been awarded a Nobel Prize, but the number of women is only 60, around 6%. This can partly be explained by the fact that many fields, especially physics, chemistry and economics, where 4, 8 and 2 women have ever been awarded, are heavily male-dominated in most nations. Also, the argument that the awards mirrors how the fields look several decades ago can play a part here, in a time where gender equality is improving fast in many areas in many nations. But with that considered, it is still hard to argue that the work and discoveries of female scientists, authors and economists have been fairly considered in all instances throughout the history of Nobel Prizes. When looking at black recipients, the number is only 17. 12 of them have been the Peace Prize, 4 in literature and 1 in economics, to W. Arthur Lewis of St. Lucia in 1979. And that award to St. Lucia is one of 2 awarded to the small Caribbean nations of only 180,000 inhabitants, making it the sovereign nation with the highest number of Nobel Prizes per capita. The other one being Derek Walcott in literature in 1992. It is followed on the list by previously mentioned overrepresented European nations like Luxembourg, Sweden, Switzerland, Iceland, Austria, Norway and Ireland.
Thank you for watching this brief look into the Nobel Prizes. I have more visualizing content on my channel. Please consider subscribing if you would like to see more of what I make in the future.